was that? Everybody get up and give a big round of applause for Eric. Let's go, Eric! Yeah! All right. Enough of those shenanigans. No, that was awesome, guys. And look, it's so important. We already belabored. Let's not belabor that. I'm so excited for this one because not only is this one of my favorite SDR hosts, it's one of my favorite persons. I Rose and I have had just I've had the pleasure of meeting Rose, I don't know, maybe about 3 years ago. And I think every single time we talk, we realize how much closer our core values are aligned, how we host, why we host, how we live our life, how we operate our families, and all of it, right? And there's Jonathan jumping in, Jonathan Wicks from Well and Good, and Stacy jumping in, race, and everybody knows Rose. There's nobody who doesn't know Rose. Um, it is, the way she hosts, guys, she has never forgot, she's never chased the dollar. She's always remembered why she's doing what she's doing, and it's always led to massive success. And so, without further ado, it's such an honor and such a pleasure to present to you guys Rose Tipka.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I just introduced myself in the chat, and my name is Rose Tipka, and I'm going to be talking about the psychology of the guest experience. It's going to be important for me to make sure I leave time at the end because I know there are always questions. So I'm going to do my best to do that. I look through the list, and there's lots of people that I know, and there's a lot of people I don't know. So I'm really glad all of you guys are here. Buckle up because we're going to go ahead and get started. We are doing the psychology of the guest experience plus a bonus side quest. Now, before we get started, I have to do the most important thing about me. Those of you who know me know I do this. My name is Rose, and the most important thing you need to know about me is that I am a homeschooling mom of 6 kids. And yes, I know how that happens. And those of you who have met my husband, you know it's because he's so handsome. But yes, that's my husband. We have 6 kids. We are located right outside of Amish country in Ohio. We own and manage all of our own portfolio called Your Family's Place. So I'm going to get started with a bar graph. There's the homeschool mom in me because I love me some data, folks. Now, this bar graph comes from a book called Never Lose a Customer Again. And it was talking about excellence. Now, if we survey companies that are providing services to consumers, 80% of those companies think that they are providing excellent service to their customers. Now, if we go to their customers and we ask the customers, did you receive an excellent experience? Only 8%, 8% of our customers actually think that they had an excellent experience. So, what we have is a tremendous mismatch between what we think we are providing to our customers and the experience our customers think they are actually having. And we're going to go ahead and bridge that gap. We're going to close it and we're going to make these folks have a wonderful experience so they want to come back. The good news is that by understanding the guest journey, what steps our guests go through on this whole timeline, we can tailor it and use different tricks of psychology to make them loyal to their brand and have the kind of vacation that makes them want to come back over and over and over again. We all know in the industry that high quality repeat guests are the real gold mine. Those are the people we're going to find. Those are the people we're going to take care of. And those are the people that are going to keep on coming back. So I actually want to start with a story. And I read about this in a marketing book, and it's called The Magic Castle. Now, the Magic Castle is a hotel in Los Angeles. As you can see from the picture, it's not necessarily the fanciest hotel. It's not the most updated. It doesn't have these crazy top tier amenities. But what it does have is an experience called the Popsicle Hotline. And I am slightly obsessed with this experience. Now, you can see in this picture, we have a little girl at the pool. And what happens with the Popsicle Hotline is there's a red, old school retro rotary phone that's outside the pool. And anybody can go to it and that phone connects right to the front desk. And you order a popsicle, and then a member of the staff comes with a silver tray and delivers you a popsicle at the pool. And this idea just blew my mind because it's not expensive. It's a popsicle, maybe 10 cents. But the way that the experience is presented to the guest is exceptional. And so that's what we're going to focus on today is we are going to do the ordinary things of hosting in extraordinary ways. All right. There are folks here on this feed. And if you could tell me on the feed where you are right now, there are folks all over the world doing what I do, what you do, what all of us are doing. We have come from different cultures, different countries, different sized properties, all of that stuff. But fundamentally, we are still doing the same thing. So it's not about money. It's not about spending crazy money on high end amenities. You don't have to go bankrupt to prioritize the guest experience. But what you can do is invest in brand loyalty, and that will get people coming back over and over again. Now, there are four critical steps in the guest journey, and I'm actually going to spend the most amount of time in affirm and activate. Okay. Assessment is that beginning phase where they're picking a place. Affirming is that time period between when they book and when they stay. Activate is right before they show in that beginning. And then adopt is what we want our guests to do. We want them to be loyal to our brand so that they come back year after year. So the assessment phase is actually not something I'm going to talk a lot about today. There is a lot of wonderful education out there on how to make your listings, whether you have a book direct website. We have loads of vendors over in the vendor area that make book direct websites. You should check out Crafted Stays. You should check out Boostly. Future Stay has a way to make a book direct website in less than 5 minutes. I'm not going to talk so much about that, but that's where our customers are weighing their options. And so it's our job as the host to build trust by providing accurate, high quality information so that folks want to book with us. And it's really important that your company is Googleable, especially if you are looking to build an independent brand with guests that book directly with you. Okay. So when we are marketing, I like to use sports metaphors. Like I said, I have 6 kids, 5 boys. I have 5 boys between 14 and 5. So there's a lot of testosterone, and we clean the bathrooms frequently here. We flood the zone when it comes to marketing. Where do you find your guests? You find your guests everywhere. You list on all the platforms. You hustle. You hustle to find those people. You can run ads, you can do blogs, newsletters. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, but when it comes to marketing, flood the zone. You need to be everywhere. So, how do we communicate that our guests that they made a really, really good choice? So when somebody finally hits book now, well, they made a great choice. They're staying with you, they're staying with me. And we want to make sure that we communicate to our guests that they made a good choice. Well, guess what? Sometimes the easiest way to a destination is a straight line. We're going to tell them that they made a good choice. Everybody likes to know that they made a good choice. We're going to tell them. How are we going to do that? All right. So when we are now in the affirm phase and our communication is key, I'm going to spend some time here because we're going to be affirming our guests' decisions. Whenever we make a large purchase, one of the first things we feel after we have parted with our money is buyer's remorse. And if folks are parting with their money to stay with you, chances are they might be feeling buyer's remorse. And we'll see that in cancellations and all of that kind of stuff. We're going to affirm and tell them that they made an excellent decision to stay with you. I also have some magic phrases I'll share, and you can absolutely steal them, unless you're one of my friends who operates locally and then you can't do it. No, I'm just joking. Of course you can. One of the things that I do for every new reservation that comes in is I send our guests a personalized video. I do not overthink it. I grab my phone that I have right here. I know that you can see me. I can't see you guys. I grab my phone and I record a personalized video, and then I text it right to my guests. And I do that right away. Now, in a world where there's a lot of AI, and we have some amazing vendors here that like Host Buddy, and they have a spectacular offer for folks attending the summit. But in a world with a lot of AI, when you go old school, It really stands out to people. Also, when you text that video to your guests, they have that contact information and they can get a hold of you if they have questions, or maybe they booked on an OTA and they're like, hey, can I book direct? Well, look at that. Now they have your number. All of us all have email confirmations that we're sending to our guests. You can send them blog posts off your website, link to your social media pages, all of that kind of stuff. And again, in an AI world, we're going to go old school and we're going to use an old fashioned marketing technique called lumpy mail. So, lumpy mail is just regular mail, but cooler because it has gifts in it. This is what I call strategic gifting opportunity number one. We like to gift our guests because everybody loves gifts, but our gifts must be strategic. I handwrite thank you notes to all of our guests on stationery that's in line with my brand. And my first lumpy mail gift, and I'm glad that we have a camera here. This is one for one of my properties. This is actually a magnet. It's a fridge magnet. So pretend that this box right here is your refrigerator. You didn't know it was going to be so interactive. And your guest gets a handwritten thank you note in the mail delivered by the postman. That's a great feeling. And they get a gift and they're going to stick it on their refrigerator. And then every time they walk by, they're going to remember, I'm going on vacation here. If they have folks over their house, what's that? Oh, that's where I'm going on vacation. Now, if you're super interested in like guerrilla marketing, I also did this at our local appliance store and I actually got quite a few reservations there. So I do like guerrilla marketing things. So those are different ways that we are going to affirm our guests that they made the right decision by staying with us. Here are some of my magic phrases. Go ahead and take a picture of this and you can absolutely use it. One of my favorite magic phrases, and I put this in the custom video that I send to my guests. I tell them you can relax and know that I'm going to take excellent care of you. It's a lot of money that they're spending to stay with me. They may feel anxious. I tell them, you can relax because I am going to take excellent care of you. The other message that we give our guests is the acknowledgement that there are a lot of choices. I know there are a lot of choices when it comes to vacation rentals. Thank you for choosing your family's place. You've made an excellent decision. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell them that they made a great choice and try to get rid of any of that buyer's remorse that they may be experiencing. So now I'm going to be moving into what I call the activate phase. The activate phase is that period of time right before they show up, usually starting around 2 weeks before their vacation. And it goes through what I call the golden hour. So the golden hour is like that first hour that folks are actually in your property. So the first thing we need to do is we need to educate and inform our guests through things like digital guidebooks. And I'm going to talk about a pre-arrival guest survey. We're going to do a critical zone phone call. I'll explain that to you. And then we'll talk about how the golden hour needs to unfold. First of all, I send out a survey to our guests once their reservation is paid in full. You can pay for different platforms to do it, or you can also use Google Forms, which is totally free. And you can embed that into your emails that your PMS is sending out. Now, usually people will ask me this question, and I can't actually see the feed now, but I'm guessing somebody has. How do you get your guests' addresses? If you're booking on the platforms, you can't get that. But we know that professional hosts use professional technology. And the most important piece in your tech stack is a PMS, a property management system software. And so your PMS gets you that information from your guests so you can send it to them. If you don't have a PMS, again, we have lots of really good ones out in the vendor hall. Future Stay is a silver sponsor, and they have a fantastic offer. Hostfully is out there. I think that there was one more out there. So go ahead and Guesty is out there as well. So go ahead and check out those PMSs. So these are the questions that I put on my guest survey, and then our guests fill it out. They send it back to me. It's great information for me, but also it's a gold mine of data. And you just have to know what to do with it. First of all, this is a snippet of some of the data that I took from earlier this spring. It was telling me, I asked guests where they found me. So in this particular case, when I took this data, 20% of our guests were finding us through social media. And that other kind of interesting thing is that green 20.5%. That was actually people who said that we were referred to them. And when I dug deeper into that data, you see some of those lighter blue arrows. Those are content creators. So the folks said they were referred to us by content creators, but they didn't consider that through social media. So absolutely working with content creators can definitely move the needle. And I have the data to prove it. One of the questions that I ask guests is what additional information I can provide to them to help them have an easier vacation. I'm asking them about restaurants, kids' activities, grocery stores, travel directions, and then the kicker question at the end, do you have a property specific question? I have pre-made emails already ready to go with this information in there. And so I have an automation. If the guests indicate they want my restaurant list, boom, that email goes out. They want to know where the grocery stores are, boom, that email goes out. By the way, that's exactly how it sounds in my PMS. It makes that boom sound. Now, the special people, the special guests are the ones who indicate that they have a property specific question. Those people need a phone call. All right. We all know those high need guests that have like 10,000 questions, even though everything is answered in your listing or in your digital guidebook. But there are those guests, and we all know them. The good news is they're very good at self-identifying. And so those people that have a property specific question, I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling them. And that's also demonstrating that, yes, I am going to take excellent care of them. And I take that super seriously. Now, as I said before, I do have a lot of kids, and one of them is actually at his weekly Dungeons and Dragons game right now. And this has led me to a side quest. That's right. Also, I told my children today, because they had to clean the bathrooms today, no side quests before cleaning the bathroom. So yeah, that's how we roll around here. The data that you get from this survey is a gold mine, but you have to do something with it. Okay. So take this data from your survey and download it into a PDF or however, put it into ChatGTP and ask questions. These people here have already selected you. They've already selected to stay with you. And so you need to get as much information out of them as possible. So given this information, how can you market to them? Use that information as a resource to you. Okay. The critical zone phone call is the night before. That's when people have a meltdown. A pre vacation meltdown happens the night before. You're going to subvert that and you're going to call them. I call them and I say, I'm just calling to see if you have any questions before check-in tomorrow. And you can hear the relief in their voice because I'm there. I'm reassuring them that we take their vacation seriously. The other thing that I also do is I talk them through check-in. I tell them exactly what's going to happen the next day. I also tell them before you check in, we do a full inspection of the entire property. And when that's done, you will get the door code. So I'm giving them a very clear message that we inspect everything before they show up. So there's no surprises. So I'm giving them that clear message. Now, from their perspective, they're like, well, great, everything's been expected. It'll be perfect. But we all know that there are those difficult guests. We're going to be like, there's no toilet paper. There's something wrong here. But I have already given them the message that we have inspected everything before they show up. That's a very important message to give your guests. Now, the golden hour. This is that golden hour is what's going to make or break the vacation. Okay? There's three things that have to happen. Folks have traveled. They are hungry and thirsty. You need to provide them or have a way for them to have something to eat and something to drink. Whatever that is needs to be on brand for you and it has to be relevant. Okay. Like if you're a family friendly place and then you lay out like caviar, that might not be relevant to your business. Okay. So for us, we focus on family friendly vacation rentals. And you may have heard rumors of the cookies that I bake. I will have you know that the giant chocolate chip, Fawad, don't listen to this part, okay? It's not for you, Fawad. It's not for you. The chocolate chip cookies that I bake are as big as your face. And I won first place in the county fair with my chocolate chip cookies. So that's what I provide for our guests. And we bake them fresh for a check-in. We also have strategic gifting opportunity number 2. It's a welcome gift. All of us do welcome gifts. Again, welcome gifts have to be on brand. They have to be useful, but not take up a lot of space. All right. We do s'mores kits and we do these really nice bags that have our brand on them that evoke like the LL Bean kind of aesthetic. I once stayed at a property. It was in London. It was over £1,000 a night. So, 1,200, 1,500 US dollars a night. The welcome gift was 2 fun size bags of chips and some Nespresso pods. And the confusing part was there was no Nespresso machine. So I don't get that. For $1,000 a night, there were Nespresso pods, but no actual coffee machine. That was very confusing to me. The other thing that you absolutely must do is you must surprise and delight your guests. And what I mean by that is over deliver. Yes, you need to give your guests all of the information about the property, but when they walk in the door, it has to be better than the pictures. Okay. You have to surprise and delight them. Now, Fuad, I'm very glad that you're here because Fuad, you get a certificate. Yes, we actually provide certificates to our guests, a certificate of achievement, and it's to the lead booker. You like that, Fuad? And you see there's a gold star. So I actually do. I have gold star stickers because my husband always said, I get a gold star for that. So I went and bought gold star stickers. So
Hold on,
we put a, oh,
hold on, Rose. I'm gonna
yeah,
call I gotta call my mom. I gotta call my mom
okay.
and tell her I got a
You get a
certificate.
certificate. So I give them a gold star and I clip it to their certificate. And guests will check in and they're like, "Thank you so much." And then I'll tell them, "But are you wearing your gold star? Because you did all the work of getting your family on vacation, and that is a lot of work. You deserve a certificate. You deserve a gold star." And we give it to them. And it's a piece of paper. It's something I designed in Canva. Again, it's not about the money, okay? This certificate is not about the money. And I'll tell you what it's about when we get to the end. Now, we have a lot of things that kind of unfold for the guests. We know that the first time our guests do everything is the most exciting time. So we want to increase the number of firsts. Um, so I actually rolled out something new and I have an example of it. This is kind of like a safe box. Like, they have safes in hotels and stuff like that. Well, this is a box that I can lock and I can program it to unlock at a specific time in the future. So I have some copy on the top and I say, I have one more surprise for you, but you have to wait and it will magically unlock on the morning of checkout. See you on the other side. And so that's what it says on the box. So really, I've given them 2 presents, what's in the box and also the gift of thinking about what's inside the box. And let me tell you, people absolutely love it. When the box opens, what's inside the box 100% delivers. Do you guys want to know what's inside the box? Yeah. Well, there's only one way to find out, and you're going to have to come stay with me, I guess. And then you get the cookies. So there you go. I'm not going to tell you what's inside the box. Once your guests show up, it's time for you to step back. Guest communication is a dance, and you are not in the lead. Okay. These are some of the magic phrases that I use with my guests. I'm here if you need anything. It's never a bother. I'm here to help. Sometimes they'll ask questions like, I'm sorry for bothering you. I just have it. Never a bother. I'm here to help. Go ahead and give them those messages. Now, when our guests check out, we are now moving into the last phase, adopt and advocate. We're going to do strategic gifting opportunity number 3. I'm handwriting a thank you note and I'm putting it in the mail so it's there when they get home. And at that point, they're getting their fridge magnet that has our logo on it and our website so that they go onto our website and see other vacation options for them. Once they're in our system, they're going to be getting our emails and targeted marketing. Also, I'm hoping they're going to follow us on social media as well, because we have lots of valuable content on our social media. So what we're doing is we're marketing and we're back to flood the zone, people. We're going to flood the zone with advertising because the next time they think about vacation, you want them to think of you. So I'm coming to the end of my presentation, and just like how I started, I like to wrap it up with a pie chart. That's right. This is the pie chart of your hosting journey. You may spend 2% of your time looking for a property and maybe 1% of your time setting it up, unless you use Launched Host, which is amazing, and they will do that for you. But about 97% of your hosting journey is actually taking care of the people in your house. And here is the truth about your guests: they don't care what your mortgage rate is. They don't care what your mortgage product is. They don't care about the data. They don't care how many doors you operate. They don't care about your occupancy, and they certainly don't care about your ADR. The only thing that they care about is how you made them feel. And that's not about the money, it's how you treat the relationship. It's how you make them feel. So if you would like to give me a follow, I have two pages. Your Family's Place is our company, and then Hosting in the Motherhood is more like my mom and hosting side of things. I put myself on a timer because I love to talk, but I knew that there were going to be questions. And so it looks like I have 6 whole minutes from when I started. Fuad, can you see the questions? Because I
I
cannot.
can. So you
Okay,
get
do you want
fresh
to go ahead
baked
and ask
cookies.
me?
You get fresh baked cookies and a pie chart.
A pie chart. See, it's all baked goods.
All baked goods, organic, I'm sure. Um,
Of course.
all right. Danny, hold on. Margaliano, I think I'm saying that right, is a realtor, show off in Destin.
Mhm.
Danny says, how many turns do you have and how can you do this at scale?
Okay, so like I own all of our properties. Growing to a portfolio of, 50 or 100 units is not a priority for me. Okay. I also don't work with investor capital, and it's important to me that I own everything because I'm creating different streams of wealth. Right now, we have 9 units between STRs, and we have 2 medium-term rentals, and then another one in the pipeline right now. We also have a 9,000 square foot house that we're building, and that will expand us out to 11 units total. How can I do it at scale? I'm a badass.
I agree with that.
That's not a
I know
satisfying
her,
answer.
I know her,
I
and
get
I
it.
agree with that. I know her and
I
I
am a
agree with
badass.
that.
Like,
No doubt.
okay, so I have 6 kids. I homeschool my kids. Our company is what supports our whole family. This is what my husband does. This is what I do. We are committed. And so I'm a badass, and I'm going to give it 100%. That's how I do it.
I love it. Emily Lauga. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That sounds awesome. It's not a question, it's more a comment, just saying that adding
Yes.
experiences on websites is also a big hit for SEO and boosting, and I couldn't agree more than that. I know you're a big fan of that. You do a ton of that, Rose.
Yes. So we have created kind of like a marketing feedback loop between our blog posts and our social media page and our email marketing. So as part of our email marketing, we always link to our website. As soon as somebody gets onto that website, we have pixels on there that allows us to retarget them with ads. I also use DM automation on our social media pages, and I craft content around that. So for example, our blog posts about Amish country are the most popular things on our website. I'll create a piece of content, what's a perfect day in Amish country? Comment this keyword, and I'll send you my blog post. I get tremendous traction on that. And as soon as somebody clicks off of our social media onto our website to read that blog post, again, that pixel picks them up. And now I can retarget them for ads. So I've created this marketing loop that continues to push people to our website so that we can continue to market them.
Love it. Teresa Allred wants to know where you get the box from because she has a good idea.
Amazon. You can buy
Never heard of
everything
it.
on Amazon. I never heard of it. I am working, and I haven't told anybody about this yet, but I'll tell everybody here because we're obviously the coolest kids. I'm actually testing out one of these phones. It's like a vintage phone that people use for like weddings or like baby showers, where it's like a guest book where people can leave audio reviews. Um, I'm testing that right now on one of our properties where I prompt guests to leave a review or like, say what's happening on their vacation, and then sending that their own review back to them at like the 6 month mark, and then also using their review as the audio for social media content. I'm in the process of testing that right now.
Awesome. Love that. Karen Faulkner says, "What are some great ideas for branded items that could be put out by the cleaner if we don't live nearby for a large property that is booked by groups of friends and also families, depending on time of year
Mhm.
and occasion?" So I bet you I have a different answer than you on this one, Rose. But I'm obviously
Mhm.
it's yours. It's yours. So I'm gonna let you
Yes.
take the first swing
So,
here.
Karen, I know that your properties are big, and so you're usually getting large groups. And I also know that your property is up in the mountains. And so I think a s'mores kit is something that hits really well for people. A lot of people want to have a bonfire, and s'mores are super nostalgic. So you can get a s'mores kit and then get a sticker with your brand on it and make that your branded item. We don't really want to tchotchke people up with a bunch of useless junk. Okay. That's not really adding a lot of value to them. I
Bingo.
really love our tote bags because they're branded with our quote, with our logo on it, but also the design of them evokes this. I called it like the LL Bean tote bag feel. LL Bean it's a prestige company. I mean, maybe they don't have the most expensive stuff, but their tote bags are kind of vintage. They're old fashioned. They kind of radiate quality and all of that kind of stuff. So by kind of stealing some of their marketing traction, I'm giving the guest something of value. I'm not crazy about a bunch of junk that your guests are just going to throw out. That doesn't really radiate value back to them.
Yep.
So consumable things like food, I think, are great. They don't take up space. S'mores kits are excellent. Almost everybody loves a good s'more on vacation.
No. I and so that's why I said, and I think this is important. Actually, the title of
Mhm,
my presentation, guys, and you'll get it next, is hospitality your way, because I don't think there's a right answer to this, right? And I
mhm.
always come back as a finance guy, I say, what's the ROI on that? And I'm actually not a huge fan of leaving gifts behind. I don't. And I don't think that, by the way, I say that tongue in cheek because it's not like it's a bad idea to do it. It's not like you're gonna lose value or get bad reviews if you do it. Obviously, those are great things. Everybody loves something free. I just think what Rose said earlier is really important. It's they're not going to remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And so I think what's important is, how did you onboard them? What was your process? I mean, we've got a multi communication process from booking to check in, right? By the time they get there, we've made them our friends, like literally. I we Suedo kidnapped a guest, and I still made them raving fans. And I said, because literally we kidnapped them. The door's broken. They couldn't get out of the house for about 14, 16 hours. The fire department had to come and cut the door off. And so, like, literally, by the time it was done, they were posting on social media and telling all their friends about us, right? You got to make them feel amazing. No free frisbee or hat or sunglasses or any of that stuff is going to matter. Now, good stuff to give away,
Yeah. Yeah.
just not with my
If they aren't having a great experience, if your property doesn't over deliver, it doesn't matter what the gifted item was.
preach, girl,
Okay.
preach.
If it's Yeah, if it's not clean, if it's not what they expect, if it's not better than what they expect, a branded pen or, a frisbee is not going to be the difference. Again,
Yep.
it goes back to you have to over deliver on the quality, and that kind of stuff is in many ways it's extra, it's the icing on top. And it's an opportunity to, really give them that brand identity. But again, if the property isn't good, none of that matters.
Yep. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Mhm.
One more. Aaron also wants to know, where do people leave reviews who book directly and not through an OTA?
Yep. So actually, 80% of our reservations are directly off of our website,
That's
which is
wild.
amazing. And every
That's
year we're
wild.
trying to do better. And every year it gets better. It's amazing. And so our PMS has an automated email that I send out that collects their review. And what's really nice is when it's your reservation on your website and not through an OTA, if it's a crummy review, guess what you get to do? Hide it. Love that. I know Fuad and I are using the same PMS, and if it's a bad one, you just hide it. So yes, our guests are still leaving reviews on OTAs, and we love those. And those get pulled over from the OTAs onto our Book Direct website. We also have an automated email. If we get a 5 star, a second email goes out asking for a Google review. I have less control over Google reviews, so I want to make sure that somebody is going to give me a 5 star before I ask for it.
I love it. Amazing job,
Mhm.
Rose. This was fantastic. Everybody make sure you get social with Rose here. Please do. I think it's so important to connect with her and always follow her journey. If at the very least, Rose will always bring you back to your core values. And when you follow her journey, you will remember why you got into this industry.
Thank you, Fuad.
Amazing job,
And we got to
Rose.
do it. We got to do it one time before we're done. Do you want to go first?
You do it.
OH.
IO. Let's go, Bucks.
Thank you, everyone. And I know I'm not sure who the next session is. Is it you, Fuad? Are you next?
Yep. Fortunately or
Awesome. All right.
unfortunately.
Well, we'll see everybody over there. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
everyone. If you have any questions, please reach out.
Let's go.